Hello, everyone. Today I would like to offer a transmission to open your heart and balance your relationships. Before the transmission, the actual transmission, I would like to offer a perspective on what love, relationships, and commitment are actually on a subtle level from the spiritual point of view. There is a lot of confusion. A lot of people have difficulty with understanding commitment at this point. Everyone thinks that they have to commit to someone else and let go of their freedom, let go of their independence. And yet, all of these are false notions because they have nothing to do with the reality of what true, authentic relationship should look like. Because true relationship is not about losing freedom or, becoming codependent. True relationship, true commitment is, first of all, the realization of the higher frequency of love within oneself and the commitment to love to that higher frequency rather than someone in a human form. Because when you commit to that frequency of love, you open up a path for yourself to actually experience the truth and the reality of your own being, and thus the truth and the reality of all the other beings. So when we speak in terms of commitment is possible only to the higher frequency of love. And when you cultivate this higher frequency of love, you are capable of seeing in terms of frequency what's suitable for you and what's not suitable for you, what's compatible with you and what's not. If you commit to the frequency of love, you start dissolving all that which is of a lower frequency. You start dissolving the patterns that have a strong grip on your soul, the frequency of fear, the frequency of jealousy, insecurities of all kinds. So all of these are just expressions of low frequency. When you're open and committed to the frequency of love, you stop holding the flow of life from within. You open to the flow of life, to the free flow of life, to free self-expression, to free expression of your creativity. You naturally sort of merge with a higher frequency of creation. Creation opens up its doors of abundance, of balanced existence for you from within. And when you are that, you naturally attract the right partner, the right commitment also in the external reality, in your life. Most of the time, people bump on each other, attract whomever, and they feel contracted because the frequency of fear is that contracts the entire body. It contracts your system, your being, and stops you from experiencing life in a free way. In true, happy, healthy, balanced relationship, you are the most free, because that type of relationship is devoid of fear. Fear is necessary for self-preservation, survival, let's say 10% in our life. It's important. It brings us a necessary skill to perceive danger and to survive, or to sort of experience this contraction for a while so that we can mobilize our intelligence and body to face danger. But other than that, we're not supposed to experience fear on a daily basis. Fear contracts our ability to be free, to be flowing freely with life, to experiencing life to the fullest. And to the fullest doesn't mean to numb your pain, to indulge, to go into, becoming addictive to anything. To the fullest means you experience deep contentment, bliss, and openness towards life. You're authentic in your being. You express yourself freely. You express yourself freely, not only to yourself, but to others as well. You're always the same. And when you're free and you choose to connect to others, there is same freedom, because you are open to life. Many people say they've awakened, but yet they are in the clasps of fear. True awakening is when you've experienced love, you've realized that higher frequency of being, but mastery means you've cultivated it, and because of that, because you've surrendered to that frequency, you've managed to dissolve all the other low frequencies. You've dissolved fears, insecurities, corrupt patterns, limited beliefs and ideologies, limited perceptions of selves, of yourself and reality. And so when you're free, you're magnetic. And when you're free, your relationships cannot be toxic, cannot be manipulative, cannot be, hiding or limiting, codependent or controlling, because all that has been dissolved with a true commitment to yourself. If you truly commit to the cultivation of high frequency of love within, you'll definitely arrive at one point to the realization of the importance of the commitment to the other soul of the same kind. And the true commitment is kind of expressed in free communication, self-expression, being yourself at all times, deep loyalty, trust. Without trust, there is no commitment. Without loyalty and dedication, there is no commitment. But without true love, there is no true loyalty, dedication, and trust, because fear will always be hindering that, or these aspects of your existence. If you question, if you distrust, if you are insecure, emotionally unstable, you can't say you know love. Even if you attach yourself to someone, even if you marry someone, you are not truly committed, because true commitment is only one's alignment with the frequency of love and the same alignment with the other person on the same frequency. That creates a strong bond, strong intimacy. And strong intimacy is a powerful energetic vortex that nothing can destroy from the outside. It's a vortex of high frequency. So a lot of people nowadays speak about soulmates, twin flames, communication with them, broken communications, or some kind of issues in between. People struggling with relationships because they're not aligned within, because their heart is not open to the soul. They follow limitations, they follow excuses, they follow fear. And every time you're faced with the true frequency of love, the fear will be visible even stronger. because the true frequency of love arises, this fear brings it up to the surface. And when it brings it up to the surface, you contract. You say, I'm afraid, I can't do it. The fear paralyzes you and disables you. And yet, instead of facing the fear and overpowering it with love, you usually tend to run away, hide away, push other people away. So that which makes you hide away, run away, push away, feel like a victim, that's ego. That's, whether you want to call it ego, but this, even ego is false, but it's the energy of contraction that contracts your being. Your soul in the body traps it. And it doesn't allow it to see its eternity, its freedom. And the fear will manipulate your mind to think that love is going to bind you. But what binds you is fear. That love is going to make you lose your independence of freedom, yet you become attached and bound by fear to loss, to failures in life. And failures means that you can't fulfill your full potential because you're not open to life from within. Life and love are the same. Because you're contracted, you can't express your creativity. Only in true, healthy, committed relationships, when two souls are united by the high frequency of love, by true, authentic communication and openness to each other, they can feel true freedom because they've already felt it within themselves by being committed to the high frequency of love. And only this type of communication, only this type of relationships can actually go through whatever obstacles in life and dissolve them with ease. Most of the people will never experience this type of relationships because they're simply not open within themselves. They are afraid not of other people who remind them of love, or who attract to them, or whom they get attracted to, but because of their own closeness to the high frequency, they are afraid of the higher being, of their own soul, and that's why they contract and hide away from their own soul. But if some of them chose to awaken to the high frequency of love, everything would change in their lives. It would transform them from within. True love would burn all the low frequencies, all the limitations, all the inner suppression, all the negativity. And yet, for most of the people, to experience love is very difficult. They are contracted, enveloped in the fear. And this fear is the same as fear of death, because to open up to the true love feels like death, meaning the leap of faith. You have to enter that space within by dissolving all that you've known about yourself before. And it's very, very difficult for most of the people. And that's why they usually choose to stay in the limited context of life, being closed off to life. Because everyone in this world, the world itself is an extension of you. The world itself is the representation of life from within. And so if you're closed off to your own soul, it will be very difficult to experience the beauty of true commitment in relationships with other souls, or that soul that is truly for you, because you will also be blinded to see who is compatible to you and who's not. Fear does not allow us to see the truth and the reality about those who surround us. The frequency of love opens us up to the depth of our own soul, and the deeper we know our own soul, the deeper we see others and their souls. And so the more you understand what is for you and what's not. So this transmission is going to bring you the realization of what you're running from. It will dissolve the frequency of fear by bringing courage, by invoking the frequency of love in your heart, by helping you to align with this higher frequency, so that you realize the eternity of your own being. Love is the foundation. The foundation of your soul. And through love, you realize the subtlety of your soul and other sort of dimensions of your soul. When you're aligned with a higher frequency, you feel blessed, you feel free, you feel creative, you feel abundant. Most of the people who divide the reality into different aspects are poor souls, poor on all levels. If you want to be abundant, you have to awaken to the frequency of love. You have to cultivate it and be aligned with it. You have to feel freedom of self-expression, freedom of communication, freedom of being your true self at any point. Trauma locks us up in the prison of fear, paralyzes us from being able to act for our own good, for our own true being. And instead of doing something, we remain in that prison and we suffer. It's our own choice. Everything is our own choice. This transmission will help you to release all the negative patterns that you've accumulated in your soul. Nothing can tarnish your soul, but you may choose to hold on to those beliefs, ideas, limitations, distortions about yourself, corrupt patterns, traumatic patterns, and limit yourself from within. No one can limit you but yourself. No one can love you but yourself, and if you love yourself truly, you're free. And you can enjoy true commitments, true balanced relationships effortlessly. True spirituality at this point begins from this realization. If we can't realize the higher frequency of love, if we cannot align everything with love, through love, if we cannot dissolve all the trauma and patterns and let go of all these corrupt, limited ideas of self, we remain forever in the self-created prison. And there are no saviors. Our own soul brings us love to remind us that we have always been free and will always be free. Even at this point, you're free if you choose to see that yourself or your existence that way. So no one limits you, but your own ideologies, your own beliefs, your own religions, your own corrupt patterns. No one else. You can let it go this very moment and realize your true essence, realize the frequency of your soul, which is love. And through that love, you can ascend further. You can free yourself from the past and grow spiritually. You can enjoy this world and other worlds in a balanced way. You can neutralize all the extremes of this reality through the balanced frequency of love. That's where we have all the signs of the past that remind us that this reality of extremes is there to help you to experience extremes and yet to be able to balance them with courage and with love. Sending you all lots of blessings, healing. You'll experience change. You'll experience courage. You'll experience balance, or more balance within yourself, and thus more balance, more authenticity in your own relationships. You will heal your relationships from within yourself and by communicating with others authentically, sincerely, and openly. You will neutralize all the obstacles, all the negative frequencies that prevent you from enjoying happy relationships, balanced relationships, fulfilling relationships, nurturing relationships, and which prevent you from feeling that high frequency of love within your heart all the time. Receive this blessing with humility and cultivate it within yourself. And you'll see how your life transforms, how your life becomes more abundant, happy, fulfilled from within and from without. And you will dissolve all the energies of lack, misalignment, imbalance in your life. You will experience health, because you let go of all the negativity, the frequency of fear, if cultivated for a long time, as much as the frequency of anger and resentment, if cultivated for too long, destroys the body from within. The frequency of love restores the body, rejuvenates the body, and brings it joy from within. Stay blessed, happy, in love, and aligned. Thank you very much.